Mhm. All right. Let the good times begin. Hello, everybody. Looks like we're getting some people jumping in. We are excited to be sharing some good information to you guys about Foxit. While we're waiting for this thing to start, we're going to give it maybe another minute or two. Maybe share where you're calling in from and just how warm or cold it is in your neck of the woods. And again, you can just message through chat. That would be great. I know my neck of the woods, we're in the 50s right now, which isn't horrible, I guess, but San Francisco, nice.
45 degrees here in Seattle.
There we go.
We get a little bit warmer here during the day.
Yeah.
Sun
Columbia,
is
Missouri.
peeking out here and there.
Nice.
That's about it.
My grandmother lived in Columbia, Missouri. 40 and sunny, nice. Sitka, Arkansas. Okay, Tampa, 65. Iowa, 34. Oregon, 45. Arizona, 60s. Warmer in Alaska than it is here. Nice. Yeah, that's for sure. Louisville, Colorado. Asheville, North Carolina. Nice. 30s, yeah, definitely brisk. Kansas City, 53. Very cool. Missoula, Montana, nice. All right, we're getting a little bit all across the board here. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. 12:01. We don't want to take up everybody's time. And again, we appreciate people jumping on. My name is Tony Phipps. I'm with the TechSoup customer success team here. We are excited about this new offer with Foxit, and we're blessed to have a couple of people on the call, Kai and Matthew. Kai is going to be sharing a little bit about the Foxit just overall, and then Matthew's going to give us a great demo. We ask that kind of throw your messages in the chat, in the Q&A, and we'll try to get to those right away. If not, we'll make sure that we grab them towards the back end. But with that, I want to hand this over to Kai and take it away, Kai.
Yeah, thanks, Tony, and thanks for having us here. We're very excited to be partnering with TechSoup and looking forward to meeting everyone here and share my screen. I don't plan to drone on with slides too long, but just want to give you a high-level overview of what is Foxit all about, and then of course quickly get you to what probably most of you guys are interested in, which is to see the product and how is that different than Acrobat. So the high level here on what Foxit is all about is very simple. We are the e-sign and PDF editor alternative out there. Of course, everyone has heard of Adobe Acrobat, everyone's heard of DocuSign, but there are alternatives on the market, and Foxit is one of those with a nonprofit program. And of course, that's what it's all about. So now, where is this relevant, you might ask? And we find that if you look through an organization, it doesn't matter if they're for-profit or nonprofit. There are specific departments where this is relevant, right? Sales, marketing, but certainly any kind of operational folks, whether or not that's IT operations or generally operations, human resources, finance teams, product management. They tend to do, and I'm not planning on going through every example that we have on this slide here, but that's what I just wanted to give you some thought on, is that because we find that because of the high cost of the competition, most organizations are not buying enough licenses for all the employees that need it. And so we find that throughout most organizations, there is a need for PDF editing as well as a need for being the ability to send out documents to others to sign them and run them through an approval workflow and things like that. And that's what Foxit will do for you. Also, from an industry perspective, we certainly see especially more use in financial services, legal services, that are certainly near and dear to the nonprofit world, logistics, education, healthcare, many more, churches, and so on. Lots of opportunity there. And so the question, of course, is why pay attention to Foxit, right? What is different here? And so, so one component here is that it's simply very flexible. You get an annual subscription here, but you can add licenses anytime. It's very simple. It automatically co-terms. You can acquire these directly from the Foxit website, of course, using that TechSoup coupon. And that makes purchasing super simple. But it's also a great fit because you get one product that works for both digital signature and PDF editing, but you also get a nice administrative tool that makes license management across your team super simple, so that potentially as employees leave or come, it's very easy to move licenses to the people that need them right here and now, so that it's not a pain to move things around. And of course, it's a great deal, $49.99 a year. That's 1/3 of our normal cost, but it's less than 20% of what the competition charges. And that is a fixed price, right? Year over year, we have no plan of it changing those prices. I mentioned this because we've seen a lot of nonprofit offerings that come in with a great offer in year one, but then after that, it's not such a great offer anymore. For us, we have no plans of changing the price in year 2, 3, or 5, so that you can plan and you know where this is taking you. Okay, so what does this product do and what do you get? So you get our flagship product, the Foxit PDF Editor Plus. And so what is that and what's in there? First of all, you get a PDF editor that is at the pro level. I say pro level. Foxit doesn't use the word pro anymore because all of our products are pro, so the word pro became redundant. I still feel the need to say pro because it matches the Acrobat Pro feature set. So you get that, and it'll work on Windows as well as on a Mac. So you can have both, right? You can have a Windows machine, but also a MacBook, for example, and a single license will work on them both. You also get a browser-based user interface for PDF editing. It will look exactly the same. I bring this up because we see people on Chromebooks or just shared workstations where maybe the software can't be installed, and it's just lots of environments where you might want to just get into a web browser and be able to do the work you need to do. And so that's part of it. Also mobile apps. We see a lot of organizations have people out in the field, and so being able to do what you need to do in remote locations on an iOS or Android device, that's all standard with the product. And then the digital signature solution, Foxit eSign, is part of it, as well as our smart redaction technology. That's especially interesting for organizations that need to do a lot of redacting. So we see this in legal services, for example, as a place where lots of redaction is done, but also in education. And of course, you can manually redact, but it's sort of a hunt and peck process. The AI here will really help to identify candidates that might need to be redacted, but then from there, it will also do the redaction for you and save you a lot of time and make sure that redaction is done correctly. So it's a great opportunity to also not just save a lot of time, but also reduce the liability of having potentially missed something that should have been redacted. And like I said earlier, you always get an admin console that makes license management super simple. For those that are a little more technical, includes single sign-on support, which is great because that means the individual employees do not need Foxit specific credentials. They just hit the SSO button and they are in and ready to use the software. So let's dig into these products a little bit more. So there's a PDF editor, works on all the devices that you want to use, and it is full features. But I'm not going to get into every feature here because Matt's going to give a demo in just a little bit. But what's important here is ultimately is that we match what Acrobat does, and that's what most people care about. And but the user interface is completely different than what you're used to from Acrobat, because we find that the people that need PDF editing typically are using the Microsoft Office suite day in, day out. So we've adopted that. We've in fact licensed the toolbar from Microsoft, from the Office suite, to create that identical look and feel, and that makes user adoption super simple. And in addition to that, we have embraced the YouTube mentality that everyone is into these days. What I mean by that is when something's broken around your house, do you hire a contractor, or do you see if maybe you can figure it out by watching a few YouTube videos? And so we've embraced that. So directly in the product, we've embedded short 2-3 minute videos. So let's say you don't know how to redact that social security number. There's a video that will teach you in a couple of minutes. No need to read that 500-page manual. Now, the e-sign side is kind of a similar conversation. You've got a full-featured digital signature solution. It matches what DocuSign or Adobe Sign are capable of. It's a little more efficient when it comes to the number of clicks to get things done. But what we find that most people love is that we've embedded it directly in the PDF editor user interface so that you can do your editing and sending documents out to be signed by others, without having to change user interfaces or changing applications. And of course, the people that need to then sign those documents, they don't need any Foxit technology at all. Just a web browser is all they need. So now some of you might say, Foxit, but who are you guys? I've never heard of you. And, companies have logo slides. So here's the Foxit logo slides, but logo slides are boring, right? What's more interesting is that all of you are already Foxit users, because we started off in 2001 as a software development toolkit company, and we sold PDF toolkits to software companies like Google and Microsoft and Amazon and thousands of others, so that they could embed PDF functionality directly within their products. So for more than a decade now, the Google Chrome browser has included the ability to render PDF files directly in the browser. So what does that mean? Let's say you're in Gmail and you get a PDF attachment. You click that PDF attachment, it'll open the PDF directly in the browser. And it's doing that using Foxit technology. Same is true on the Amazon Kindle or the Edge browser from Microsoft. So that's how more than 2 billion people on a daily basis use Foxit technology, and you're most likely among them. So to wrap things up, what does Foxit do and what are we all about? We're a PDF company. So PDF editing, digital signature. You just heard about those SDKs. We do also have large document conversion tools. So if you have 1 million files that need to be converted, talk to us about that too. But we are a global company. We're headquartered in Silicon Valley in Fremont, and more than 500,000 active paying companies that use our technology, especially on the e-sign side. More than 1,500 new customers join us every month at the moment. And you see 700 million users. That's a big number. That's because of the Foxit PDF Reader, a free reader. You've probably all heard about the Adobe Reader, but it's kind of slow and resource hungry. So we see lots of people love the Foxit Reader. Of course, it's also free and just a much faster way to open your PDF files. With that, let me wrap this up and see if there are any questions, and maybe we can answer those before Matt takes over with that live demo.
Yeah, Kai, there is a question here from John. Are you aware of any issues with courts or other parties accepting the Foxit sign?
So in general, what we find is that Foxit e-sign is a digital signature solution just as legally binding as all the other vendors that you might have heard of on the market, whether or not that is DocuSign or Adobe Sign. There's lots of names out there with digital signature solutions, but yes, Foxit signatures are just as legally binding as anyone else's. We haven't seen anybody not accept our e-signs for any kind of regulatory reason or compatibility reason or anything like that.
Yeah, gotcha. Makes sense.
Any other questions?
Another one looks like if I call support, will we get someone from the US?
That's a fabulous question. Yes, Foxit has a US-based support team that sits in Fremont and California. So they answer the phone during US business hours. We do offer 24/7 support. So if you call us at 8 p.m. at night, you will get our team in Asia. If you call us at 2 a.m. in the morning, you're going to get our team in Europe. But it's a PDF editor. Are you really going to call at 2 a.m.? It's probably not going to be that important, but so yeah, the normal US business hours, you're going to get our US team with an 800 number. And of course, the product has the number right embedded in it. And Matt will show you where that is in a moment.
Gotcha. Great question. Yeah. It's always interesting to see when you call, yeah, who you're talking to. I mean, they may say dude or something like that since they are from California, but that's all good.
Mhm.
Looks like another one just popped in, J-Rod. Any issues with purchasing with federal funds? Sometimes they require American companies.
And so there are two ways to buy from us. One is the Foxit website, in which case we take a credit card or PayPal. If that doesn't work for you, the Foxit sales force is happy to take your call and sell the licenses to you that way. And there, then we take invoices and all the normal ways of payments, bank transfers, and so on.
Gotcha. Very good. I think that's it for now. So yeah, we'll let this pass on to Matthew.
All right, Matt, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you for the introduction, Kai and Tony. I appreciate it. And thank you to everyone else for taking time out of your day today to join us. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and let's jump into it and take a look at our Foxit PDF editor. This is the subscription version that's installed here on my software. So the first thing I like to talk about and point out is the user interface and our partnership with Microsoft. We have licensed the ribbon technology from Microsoft. So what that means is the interface looks and feels like Microsoft Office, and that's very much by design. We even have the ability to right click and we can customize the ribbon just like you can in Office. We can change or rearrange the order of the tabs on the ribbon. We can create custom keyboard shortcuts to the features that we're reviewing. And again, just like in Office, in the upper left-hand corner, we have the quick access toolbar, again, fully customizable. So having said that, let's jump into the features. I'm going to walk you through the ribbon left to right and just touch on a couple of the features on the ribbon. To start off, here on the Home tab, these are where some of the more commonly accessed features live. And again, we can fully customize the Home tab. So if there's other features that maybe you use more often than others, we can place those here. Moving over to the Convert tab, this is where the magic starts to happen. We can convert documents such as a Microsoft Word document to PDF. To do that, we simply just click a document and we're just dragging and dropping the document into the software. Anytime we see where the software is working, we see that status bar in the lower right-hand corner as we're working to convert that Microsoft Word document over to PDF. And just like that, we've converted that Word document to PDF, and I can see the name of the document is now a .pdf. For the first time, I have two different documents open within our software. I can easily navigate back and forth between the documents just by clicking these tabs. Now, if I need to convert a PDF back to Microsoft Office, I can do that here, not a problem. But maybe I need to use optical character recognition or OCR to take a scanned image so that I can take that scanned image and then be able to edit and work with the document. Again, I'm just grabbing a TIFF file, dragging and dropping it into our software. With this current document as a TIFF file, as I stated, I cannot edit this document. I can simply view it. I can't do much else with it. However, by utilizing OCR, I'm just going to OCR the current file. I can select the pages, change the language, or change the output. Maybe I don't want to make the document editable, but I do need to search through the document to find information. I could certainly make it a searchable document, but in this example, I'm going to select editable, go ahead and click OK. Again, we're going to see that status bar in the lower right-hand corner. Once that's complete, it will present a window called OCR Suspects. Think of this window as an opportunity to double check your homework. Maybe there's handwriting on the document. We don't want someone to OCR that. For this example, I'm simply going to click check all and click accept. This brings us over to the edit tab. If I select edit, edit text, it's drawing a gray box around the text that I can now edit. So because I have OCR'd this document, I can now select this text, I can delete it, I can expand the format window here on the right-hand side and continue to type in. If I need to change the text style, I can certainly do that, or the font, or the color. And again, to simply collapse this right-hand window, I'm just clicking that black caret icon. So I'll jump back over to our Death Valley document, just covering the edit tab. Again, we're going to be editing the text. So if I select edit text, just like in the other document, it's drawing that gray box. I can expand this format window and collapse this format window here again. Another feature to highlight and point out here would be the auto create bookmarks feature. This is a plugin with Adobe, whereas it's native with our software. The way this works is we select text, and I've selected the text here, Death Valley. So let's identify the style, color, and size. Anywhere where we see the same style of text repeating itself, we're just going to automatically create a bookmark. Of course, I can manually scroll through the document and create bookmarks, but I'm all about working smarter, not harder, right? So if I click OK, again, I'll see that status bar in the lower right-hand corner, and we've created 11 bookmarks. So for the first time, this left-hand window has opened. Now just to collapse it, simply click that black caret, again, expand it, and I can now navigate through my document with the automatically created bookmarks. Again, it's just keying off the title in the different sections of the document. Again, just allowing myself to save time. I'm going to move over to the Organize tab. Think of the Organize tab as a top-down view of your document, allowing you to manage the pages within the document. So for example, I'm holding down my left control key and selecting pages with my mouse. I've selected the first 2 pages, and I can tell that by the blue outline. As I click those pages and move my mouse, anywhere where we see the blue bar, it's going to move those first 2 pages. So I'm simply going to move the first 2 pages in between pages 8 and 9 by just releasing my mouse. And just like that, we've moved those pages. Now, if I select a page, I can right-click, and I have a number of options, such as inserting pages from a file, folder, or additional sources, or I can delete, extract, reverse, replace, rearrange, swap, duplicate, and move pages. Now, those same features are available along the top of the ribbon. We're just giving you, the user, a choice on how you want to interact with the software. Of course, if we need to split a document either by the number of pages or the file size. So for example, we need to upload documentation to a website and there's a file size restriction on loading documentation, not a problem. We can simply split a document and set our file size or the number of pages. Of course, we can rotate, crop, and resize pages as well. And if we need to flatten our document or add a watermark, background, header and footer, or Bates numbering, all of those features available here on the Organize tab. We're going to move over to the Comment tab. And we just have a number of ways to mark up our document. I'm just grabbing this left-hand bar and pulling it back into the left to give myself more of a viewing area. So for example, if I need to highlight text here on the Comment tab, I can simply highlight text and type in a reason why I'm highlighting that text. If I need to drop a note onto the document, again, I can enter information as to why I'm entering that note. And if I need to change how the note appears, I can expand the format window again here on the right-hand side. Select a different note icon as well as the color. If I need to change the opacity, I can do that here. If I need to use the typewriter mode just to type text directly onto the document, also utilize a text box to type text directly into the document. Maybe I need to use the call out feature just to draw your eyes to a certain area of the document. Of course, we can use an area highlight tool to highlight an entire area on the document. Maybe, hey, not a fan of snakes. Let's get the snake out of the document. Let's pick a different animal. Of course, if we're measuring, we have our measuring tool here on the comment tab. We can measure distance, perimeter, or areas of a polygon or a circle. Or maybe our finance team needs to use the accounting calculator to show their work. Again, this is a plugin with Adobe, whereas it's native with our software. And I can just drop that tape directly onto the document and then move it around to show that work. Perhaps we're utilizing stamps, including dynamic stamps, which would include the author's name, date, and time. As I expand this stamp, I'm not losing any of my image clarity as I'm expanding the stamp. Of course, we offer symbols over a wide range of industries to place onto our document, as well as numbers and letters. And we can set the numbers and letters to auto increment. So as we're placing them onto our document, it just rolls right along, no need to stop. Simply scrolling down, looking for some more white space. We're going to jump over to the View tab. Here on the View tab, we can change how we're seeing our document on our screen. For example, maybe we're traveling on a plane at night or reading a document in bed. We need to enable night mode just to make it a little easier on the eyes to see in a dark area. Or perhaps we need to utilize the compare tool. Maybe we've sent a contract, we've received that contract back signed. Hey, let's just double check and make sure no one's changed that small fine print at the bottom of that contract. Here on the Form tab, a number of ways to create forms, but my favorite way to create a form is using the Run Form Field Recognition feature. For example, again, just drag and drop a document here. This is a PDF. In its current state with this form, I would need to print this form, use my handwriting to fill it out, then hope someone can read my handwriting because it's terrible. And then I've got to find a scanner or printer that's working, scan it in, run back over to the desk, and hope that document didn't get caught in a spam filter of some kind. Seems like I've wasted time in that process. Alternatively, by clicking Run Form Field Recognition, our software can automatically identify the forms and create those fields so we can enter text. I clicked it, and just like that, we had now entered text into these boxes that it's automatically created for us. It even identified the checkboxes down here and created those for us. Now, if we need to manually create our own form fields, not a problem. They're available here on the Form tab so that we can click and simply drag and drop onto our document. I'm going to move over to the Protect tab. One of the key features here to highlight would be the Smart Redact Document feature. Again, dragging and dropping a document here into the software. With our Smart Redaction feature, we can use AI to scan a document based on a set of parameters and automatically redact sensitive information. So I have the Smart Redact profiles loaded here on the right-hand side. I can select my country, as different countries have different government requirements. I can also then select a profile. So for example, under sensitive data, seeing information such as name, email, address, credit card. And if we want to deselect so that we're not searching for this information, simply check a box, or if we check a box next to the profile name, it'll select all information. For this example, I'm going to leave everything checked and go ahead and click scan. We found 12 results across the various profiles we've used. If I select check all, it's drawing a red box around the sensitive data that we're going to be redacting. If I move my mouse over it, it turns into a black bar. Again, this is true redaction, meaning it cannot be undone, and it's also redacting the associated metadata as well. I'm going to go ahead and click apply. This window is just letting me know, hey, you can undo this. Are you sure you want to do it? Go ahead and click OK. And just like that, we have used Smart Redact to redact sensitive information from a document using AI. I'm going to jump back over to our Death Valley document. Of course, we need to just simply place a couple signatures onto our document. You can use the fill and sign feature to place just an image here onto the document. Or maybe I need to utilize a digital signature. Not a problem, simply draw where you want to place that digital signature, and you can type in your password to place that signature onto the document. But that third way of being able to obtain that legally binding signature is our eSign product. And again, it's available directly within the editor. So again, I'm just going to drag and drop another document here. This is a sample contract. I'm going to click Request Signature to kick off that 4-step process to obtain the legally binding signature. In the first step, we add our documents. Second step, we add our signers. Third step, we're going to prepare the document. And in that fourth step, we're going to send the document away. I'm still on the first step where I'm adding my documentation to the envelope. I can add multiple documents to the envelope. Each document can have a number of signatures on it. It does not matter how many documents or signatures are in the envelope, it still counts as an envelope. If I do have multiple documents in the envelope, I can select documents and move and drag and drop to change the order of the document that the recipient sees when they open the envelope. But in this example, I just have a single document, so I'm going to go ahead and click Next. Here I type in the name or email address of the recipient that I'm sending to, and we can import your contacts as well from your address book so you don't have to completely recreate it. I'm just going to go ahead and add myself. If I need to use a signing sequence, I can do that. A reason why I would do that is if I'm sending to 3 recipients, and I need the first recipient to receive the documentation to sign, then it goes to the second recipient to place their signature on the document, and then maybe it goes to a third recipient for final review. We can achieve that again with the signing sequence. Or maybe we need to add an extra layer of security. For example, we can text our document versus sending it via email. Or maybe we need to utilize 2-factor authentication. We can utilize email, mobile, or phone to do so. Again, I'm going to click Save and Next and just move on to that third step. On the third step, we're going to prepare our document. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm here to obtain that legally binding signature, so I'll start there. We can drag and drop fields onto our document. So for example, I'm going to drag and drop the signature field, place that onto our document. You can't always read someone's handwriting, such as mine, so I'm going to place signer name to ensure I can read someone's name. And also drag and drop date signed to place that here onto the document. If I scroll down, I have a number of data entry fields. For example, maybe I need to utilize an attachment field to obtain additional documentation from my recipient. Or maybe I just need to provide a text box. Maybe I need them to enter information. Again, we're just going to keep things simple here. I'm just going to drag and drop a date field. Here on the right-hand side, we can manage the properties of the fields. So for example, I have the date field selected, and I can tell that as I see the white boxes around the field. If I need to make this mandatory field, I can do that, making sure the recipient has to interact with the field. If I need to change the date format on this field, I can do that here, as well as changing the text alignment, size, and color. I'm going to go ahead and click Send to move on to that fourth and final step. And this is where we're going to select an email template as to why we're sending our document out for signature. Simply select this dropdown. You have the ability to go in and create your email templates. You can see review my recipient list and see the subject and the body of the email. If I select editor view, I can go in and make last minute changes to that body of the email if I need to. But I'm ready to send, so I'll go ahead and click send. Now, because I'm the only one signing this, it did go ahead and open the document within the editor for me to apply my signature. Go ahead and click finish. This window again is letting me know this is as legally binding as a signature on paper. So let's be sure I want to place my signature down there. Go ahead and check the box and click confirm. Now, while the magic happens in the background, just want to point out, the recipient does not need a Foxit license, nor do they need any type of Foxit software installed. They would simply receive an email letting them know they have a Foxit e-sign document for signature. They would click a link that would open as a PDF within their web browser for them to place their signature on the document or interact with the document in any way needed. And once they click complete, you as the sender would get an email notifying you they have completed the process. So I'll go ahead and click OK. I'm going to scroll down. I see the signature on the document. And if I continue to scroll down, I have the legally binding signature, the legally binding signature certificate. Just running through this, I'm seeing the envelope reference number, which is a unique reference number for tracking of all envelopes. I see the author's name, date, and completion date. I see an image of the document as well as the title of the document. I see a document reference number, again, for tracking of all documents within an envelope. As I continue to scroll down, I see who signed the document, their email address, their associated IP address and physical location where they signed, as well as date and how they signed. And again, I see an image of their signature, including date and time. As I continue to scroll down, I can see the envelope timeline history. When was the envelope created, sent, executed, etc. Now, again, let's fast forward 30 days in time and say I need to access this documentation. One way to access that is to search through your email. But as I stated previously, let's work smarter, not harder. If I select document status, I can see all of the envelopes that I've sent out for documentation. I can see the name of the document, who I sent it to. I can view the envelope or download the contents, see this when it was sent, and what the overall status is. Is it executed? Is it still in draft? So at a very high level, that is our e-sign product, again, available inside of the editor. I'm going to jump back over to a document here. I'm just going to quickly wrap up here on the Share tab, a number of ways to share documentation out. Maybe that's via email or sharing via Teams to collaborate and add comments in real time. Here on the Accessibility tab, we can run a full check on our document. Maybe we need to, again, just make sure that document is accessible by everyone. So for example, I see where this has failed. It is not tagged. I simply right click. I can select Fix to auto tag the document. Or maybe I need to set an area reading order. Maybe I need to ensure that a screen reader identifies not only the text, but the images and is reading that in the correct order. Here on the Help tab, we have a user manual. Again, just want to acknowledge that that user manual is 500 pages. Having said that, it is searchable, so you can find specific information about what you're looking for. But as Kai stated at the beginning, we also have online YouTube tutorial style videos where we can go and access and watch and see how these features work in real time. So at a very high level, those are the features within our PDF editor. There are a number of other features, obviously, that I don't have time to cover. So we've covered the editor, we've covered eSign. You may be asking yourself, how do we manage the licensing for these products? Well, let's jump into that as well. So I'm jumping here into my web browser. This is our admin console. We can use the admin console to not only manage licenses, but we can manage the features across our products as well. We're going to navigate the console using this left-hand menu. I can select from this dropdown. If I have different Foxit products within my console, I can select the product that I'm working with. In this example, again, this is our Editor Plus product, which we just reviewed. I have 15 of these licenses in my console. I have 3 licenses assigned to users. In the subscription model, we do assign a license to a user. I have 12 licenses available to be assigned. I'm seeing my overall eSign and Smart Redact usage across my licenses, and I see my active users for the day. In the middle, I'm seeing a visual representation of where my licenses are being used. Again, a user can log in to 3 concurrent devices with a license. That could be a mixture of a Windows, Mac, our cloud editor, which is our editor product available within a web browser, or maybe our mobile editor. Now, we're seeing these lines just run straight across the screen. That's just telling me, hey, no change in the last 7 days in your licensing. Of course, I can select this dropdown, select 30 days, or click more data and enter a custom date range. But if I select user ID management, let's talk about how we license users. If I select users, I have two options for getting users into the console. I can sync with a directory that supports SAML 2.0, such as Microsoft Active Directory or Entra ID in Azure or maybe Google Workspace. A benefit of syncing with a directory is then you can configure single sign-on or SSO, which simply streamlines the login process into the editor. The second method is we can simply send a user an email and invite them to the console. When they accept that email, they're prompted to create a Foxit account, which then, once they're properly licensed, they can log into the editor with their Foxit account. Here under license management, it's as simple as clicking assign license to a user, or to remove a license from a user, or simply checking a box and clicking remove license. Working our way left to right, I'm seeing the user's name, email address, the name of the license that's assigned. As I scroll to the right, I'm seeing when that license expires. You can see where the user activated their license, as well as their overall eSign and Smart Redact document usage. And again, I can see when that license was assigned and the last time the user connected with that license. Here under products, we can manage some of the features within the editor. Let's jump in and take a look at that with just a few minutes remaining. I can download the latest version of the software. Again, just ensuring we're not going out to the internet and grabbing an outdated or incorrect version. For example, I can kick off the MSI download for Editor for Windows, and then I could use a third-party RMM tool to deploy that MSI file across my enterprise. Then my users go to launch, they're pre-licensed here in the console, and they log in if I have SSO configured. I'm seeing the name of the license, when that license expires, and then the allowed devices a user can log in with the license. Again, if we're working with multiple license types, I'm going to see them as different tiles here within the console. Let's select product configuration, configuration for editor products. A few settings just to point out here. For example, offline available time. A user needs to be connected to the internet to validate or activate that license. However, they could then disconnect from the internet and continue using the product for up to 60 days with no interruption to using their editor. Alternatively, listen, we believe if you've purchased the license, let's make sure it's getting used. So with automatic deactivation, if this box is checked, if a license is assigned to a user and they have not logged into the editor product in 90 days, we'll automatically remove the license from the user and add it back to your available pool of licenses to assign to someone that is ready to log in and get working. And then last but not least, we have MAC address range restriction. Let's say, for example, you have an organization that does not want users accessing company-issued software on a personal device. Not a problem. Simply enter the MAC address of the work-issued devices, and then they can only access the software on that work-issued device. Here under Access Policies, we can manage where users are activating their license. For example, I mentioned the Editor Cloud. Again, that's our editor product available within a web browser. But I can turn off access for everyone, preventing them from accessing a particular platform. Or it's not all or nothing. If I need to block it for specific users while allowing other users to access that platform, I can do that as well. I'm going to move into feature settings and select editor for Windows. Again, I'm keeping an eye on time. We have about 15 minutes remaining. I'm going to wrap up here in another minute. Here under feature settings, we can disable the features within the editor. So for example, we provide cloud storage so that if you're using your license on multiple devices, you can upload your documents to the Foxit cloud. And we partner with Amazon Web Services for that cloud storage. But if you're already utilizing a cloud platform and you don't want to introduce another one, not a problem. Simply uncheck this box and that'll disable access to the Foxit cloud. We can also turn off the AI Assistant, eSign, and Smart Redact. And again, these bottom three features we can turn off for some users while allowing other users to use those features. So at a very high level, that is going to be the admin console that we can use to manage those licenses and features across multiple products. So again, I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to view our demo walkthrough and take a look and become more familiar with our products. So I hope you're able to walk away from this and have a better idea of what the Foxit editor can do, as well as our eSign and admin console. Kai, I'm going to turn the floor back over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. That was awesome. We got lots of questions which we've been trying to answer throughout, which is great. There's one question pending, and I'm researching that one, which was the higher education community vendor assessment toolkit. That's an interesting one. Foxit has an education team that specializes on selling into K through 12, but also colleges and universities. So I have reached out to that team to answer that question. So Stephen, we will reach out with an answer once that comes in.
Yeah, we're seeing a couple more here, Kai. So I see one here from Paul. Are there any limits on the number of e-signs a user can send?
Yes, you get 150 envelopes with each user subscription. And if you need more, there isn't a way to add more. We're working on adding a way, but it's not going to be a good answer for nonprofits because the cost to add more envelopes will be much higher than a license of the Editor Plus product. So it would be better to just go and buy another Editor Plus license for $50 because there'll be a SKU to buy another 250 envelopes. Pretty sure that SKU is going to cost like $250, and so it will make no sense to add envelopes. It'll make much more sense to just buy another license of the product.
Cool, thank you for that. And then, yeah, I think John's kind of piggybacking on that 150 over what period?
It's a 1-year subscription that you get for the $49.99.
Cool. He asked another question to John. What happens to documents associated with a user you had their license auto revoked?
So if you revoke a license from a user in the admin console, or I guess let me make sure I understand the question correctly, right? There's two ways that your subscription could simply expire, meaning you chose not to renew it after 1 year. Of course, the licenses will be revoked. In that case, Foxit retains essentially the account goes into a read-only mode, and there are 90 days for customers to log in and retrieve their documents. After 90 days, we will purge the account and things will go away. There could be the second aspect, though, that you may have an employee that leaves the company, and so therefore you go into the admin console and you revoke their license. And Matt, can you answer the question of what happens to their envelopes if you revoke a license from a user that is no longer with the company?
Yeah, so those envelopes will stay within their account. And to your point, Kai, I believe after 90 days, they're purged.
So in other words, log in, grab whatever documents are there before you revoke the account. But even if you do it after, of course, you do have the 90 days to go grab any envelopes that might be sitting there.
Gotcha. Cool. And then I think Roy, hopefully he answered your question too on how many envelopes for signed you get with the TechSoup license purchase. And then Aurora is asking, can you pull envelopes based on users? So if you have several users that won't use the e-sign, but others that will you use more than 150 envelopes?
So the answer is no, but yes, which is an odd answer, right? Right at the moment, the answer is no. That each user has their own bucket of envelopes, but we have gotten overwhelming customer feedback that is just annoying. And so we are working on turning that no into a yes, so that when you buy the Editor Plus license for 3 users, then you will have 3 times 150, 450 envelopes that are pooled, and it doesn't matter who uses how many. And so, yeah, that is where we are going. Don't put a gun to my head on when that will be available, but it's in the coming months. So not a long ways away when we will make that switch.
I think that's good to hear too. Just the companies are listening to the customers and you're, yeah, trying to make something happen. So that's awesome to hear.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Roy's asking, can you reassign a license?
Can you reassign a license? Yes, that's the whole idea of the admin console, is that you have control over who licenses are assigned to. So if you have someone leave your organization, then you can claw that license back and reassign it to somebody else, all on your own right there in the admin console. It's very simple and quick to do. And that's sort of the whole point, is to make the user management across your team super simple.
Yeah, no,
Never have to
totally.
call
I
Foxit
even, I even,
back.
I even felt that it seemed like almost like the admin portal for Microsoft. It had a really, yeah, similar feel to it. So yeah, I appreciated that.
Yeah.
Um, John is asking another question. Is there a trial period option for testing Foxit?
Yes, you can go to the Foxit website anytime and grab a trial. It's a 14-day trial. You will get exactly the same PDF Editor Plus product that you can purchase through via TechSoup with that coupon. So you can test it out for a couple of weeks, and if you love it, it will in fact give you a buy now button right there. You can hit that buy now button, but don't close out the purchase without a TechSoup coupon code, right? Because if you just hit the buy now button and walk through the whole purchase, you're going to pay $159.99 instead of $49.99. So if you don't enjoy paying 3 times as much, get that coupon code from TechSoup.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, it's a great way just to check things out. And again, if you have any questions or any kind of problems, or maybe just trying to sign up, I'm putting the email here in the chat, solutions@techsoup.org. You'll get to talk to a real person. We're not AI generated, between myself and Kevin, my colleague, part of the customer success team. We will be more than happy to answer questions and help you with the whole onboarding and just questions about answering about Foxit. I think I've covered everything. Anyone else? Oh, good question, Jose. So are these perpetual licenses?
These are annual subscriptions.
There we go.
Yeah.
Annual
And
subscriptions. There we
yeah,
go.
if you have questions after this webinar, always feel free to reach out to me. I just put my email address in the chat here. So feel free to send me a note directly. Happy to help you with the purchase online, answer any questions. Or if you'd want to go through a whole sales cycle with us and you want a sales rep to help you, then I'll connect you with the Foxit sales force who can help you with specific opportunities. I've had some people come in and ask for, well, the online store only lets you buy 30 licenses. What if I need 50? Great, the Foxit Salesforce can help you buy as many as you need. But yeah, our web store is limited to 30 at a time. You can buy 30 and then come back and add 20. I had somebody do that just last week. That's certainly fine too. If you don't want to talk to anybody, that's great. That's another way to do it. You just have to go in there twice.
Yeah. And I've seen it firsthand. Kai is very responsive. So yeah, definitely try to take advantage of that if you guys have questions about that. So cool. Well, I think we've kind of answered all the questions, and we are so thankful for you guys, Kai and Matthew, for your time. There will be a video coming out of this webinar, so we will make sure it gets into your hands in case you've got other teammates that need to watch this or whatever. So with that, Kai, Matthew, thank you so much, and the rest of the team here at TechSoup, and we hope you guys have a great afternoon.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
so much for having us.